1945, December 5th, five Avenger torpedo bombers of U.S. Navy took off from Florida. The mission was called Flight 19. It was a 3-hour-long normal routine training exercise. It wasn't a special training mission. They were simply flying to conduct their regular training exercise. There were 14 crew members on the flight, led by their flight leader, Lieutenant Charles Carroll Taylor, a highly experienced pilot and war veteran. These five planes flew east from Florida. Everything was normal, the weather was clear. But about 2 hours after the takeoff, their squadron leader reported that there were sudden problems in their compass. Their compass suddenly stopped working. They take out their backup compass, but the backup compass failed too. They can't determine their actual position. He asks the pilots of the other planes, but their instruments were malfunctioning too. The weather starts worsening at 4:56 in the evening. At 7:04 p.m., we get the last radio transmission from Taylor. After that, all five planes are lost forever. They just disappeared. Till date, we have no clue about these planes. Where are they, or what happened to them? After the disappearance of Flight 19, a search and rescue Mariner aircraft took off with a crew of 13 people. They were on a mission to find Flight 19. But while looking for them, they also disappeared. First, 14 people of Flight 19 disappeared, and then 13 people of the Mariner search and rescue aircraft suddenly disappeared. For days after this, a large-scale air and sea search operation was carried out, one of the largest search operations of the time, to look for both of these flights. But they could find nothing, neither do they find a body of any person nor any part of the aircraft. Everything had disappeared. The area where both planes disappeared, today we know that area as the Bermuda Triangle or the Devil's Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is said to be a very mysterious part of the ocean, a place where more than 100 aircraft and ships have disappeared. They were never found again. Nobody knows about it. This area lies between Florida in the USA, Puerto Rico, and the country Bermuda in the north. It makes a triangular area like this. Overall, this area spans more than 500 square miles. Stories of the Bermuda Triangle are older than 500 years. In 1492, when Christopher Columbus set out to find the New World, he said that when he was passing by this area, his compass stopped working, and one night when he looked at the sky from his ship, he saw a weird light, a strange light that looked like a ball of fire, and he saw that ball of fire fall out of the sky into the ocean. This was the beginning of this mystery. The name of the Bermuda Triangle was used for the first time in 1964 in a magazine called Argosy. There was an article by Vincent H. Gaddis in 1964. This was the first time the phrase Bermuda Triangle was used. In this article, he mentioned many disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle over the last several decades. Although there were no explanations in the article as to why it happened, but made the mystery of Bermuda Triangle popular at the time, so popular that many books were written on it. Many films and computer games were made. Talking about some other incidents, there was another horrifying incident in the year 1918. It involved the USS Cyclops, one of the biggest and fastest ships of the US Navy at the time. It was a very important asset for the American Navy, especially when America began taking part in the World War I. It was used to transport the troops and coal. On 4th March 1918, 306 people were aboard the USS Cyclops from a city near Washington called the West Indies, Baltimore. This ship began its journey towards Brazil. Apart from people, this ship was carrying 11,000 tons of manganese. The journey was supposed to take 9 days. Everything was fine with the departure of the ship. The weather was clear. While departing, the ship sent the message, "Weather fair, all well." The ship began its journey. After the message, there was no news from the ship, no information. It had disappeared suddenly. This shocked everyone. Everyone was frustrated. One of the biggest ships of the US Navy. How could it disappear suddenly? What lies behind the incidents of the Bermuda Triangle? There are many theories for it. Some blame the aliens, that aliens had come and abducted the aircraft and ships and had taken these with them. Some people believe that there is a giant sea monster under the ocean that is behind all these disappearances. And some people claim that this area of the ocean is peculiar and all the aircraft and vessels drown here. These theories are truly outlandish. So let's focus on the theories that sound a bit more scientific. The first scientific explanation is the area where Bermuda Triangle lies is quite shallow. When you look at it on a satellite map, you would see that the Bahamas, Caribbean islands, they are surrounded by turquoise color all around. This area in the ocean stretches across a long distance with shallow waters. Because of this, it is said that in the olden days, when the ships came to this area, got stuck here due to the shallow waters. Hidden shoals were the points where the land beneath the ocean was quite high, but it was not visible from the ships. When the ships were atop the area, they would get stuck there. And the second most important scientific explanation is hurricanes. This area has one of the highest rates of hurricanes in the world. If you rank the countries where most of the hurricanes are seen, China is number 1, then USA followed by Cuba. Cuba lies in this area. And which state gets the most hurricanes in the USA? Florida. And it lies in this area. This area gets hurricanes and water spouts more frequently. The third explanation is the most important because this is related to human psychology. This is known as Bader-Meinhof effect or the frequency illusion. The Bader-Meinhof effect or the frequency illusion is a psychological effect. It states that when we start to notice things more, then we start finding them more often around us. Remember, when someone in your family bought a new car, the model of the car you got after buying it, you would have noticed that over the next few days or even months. Whenever you were on the road, you start noticing the model of the car you bought more and more. You would notice the same model on the road. You may also feel like more people bought the model after you bought it. In reality, the frequency of the car on the road didn't change much. It was just as common after you bought it as it was before. But because you bought the car, you started noticing it more and more. The same thing is said about Bermuda Triangle. It is true that some big aircraft and vessels disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. But if you have noticed, in many areas around the globe, across all oceans, there have been such disappearances of aircraft and ships. Areas other than the Bermuda Triangle. The thing is that when people came across the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle, people started paying more attention to the disappearances and incidents there. The incidents taking place around the Bermuda Triangle and the similar incidents that took place outside the Bermuda Triangle, people didn't pay much attention to them. Journalist Larry Kush, the author of the book The Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved, reached to this solution too. If the video was informative for you, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share.